Hey yo, how you doing? This is your girl Tashin, and we're back with another video. So this one is celebrities who work normal jobs now. Oh, okay, let's get straight to it.
From Charlie Bucket in Willy Wonka to the Shermanator from American Pie. These are celebrities who work normal jobs now, beginning with Hayden Christensen, who gave up his fame as a Hollywood actor to return to the world of manual labor. After appearing in the third Star Wars movie back in 2005, Christensen explained that he felt he hadn't really earned his fame, stating, "I guess I felt like I had this great thing in Star Wars that provided all these opportunities and gave me a career, but it all kind of felt a little too handed to me," also adding that he liked the idea of deliberately sabotaging his fame just so he could start from scratch. "You can't take years off and not have it affect your career," he admitted. "But I don't know, in a weird sort of destructive way, there was something appealing about that to me." For this reason, Christensen decided to purchase a farm just outside of Toronto, Canada, so he could get into the world of agriculture, stating, "I'm trying to figure it out, it's all new to me, but I would eventually like it to be a fully operational farm with livestock and different crops. I've got a tractor and an excavator, and I'm learning to use all the construction equipment. Right now there's an apple orchard that I want to extend, and I've started a small vegetable garden, and I want to turn a hayfield into lab."
And this will bring him peace. Trust me, this will bring him peace. Hollywood is crazy, okay? A lot of people can't handle the Hollywood life, you know, the lifestyle. It's just too much. But this
Lavender, which also led to his own line of country clothing through a company called RW & Co. Christensen has since been spotted at numerous farmers markets and maintains that the farm is going well.
How's things going, man? How's the farm? Good. Farm's good.
However, while Hayden Christensen is still kind of working for himself, Stephen Anthony Lawrence has since found a different type of employment since he played Beans in Even Stevens. After the show came to an end in 2003, Lawrence struggled to land any further teen roles as he went bald only 1 year later at the age of 14, stating in a Vice interview, "I mean, it sucks, but you can't."
What? He was bald by the age 14? Oh.
The terms with it. During the same interview, Lawrence explained that both of his parents were then diagnosed with cancer, making it even more difficult for him to return to acting, having stated, "You're being a caregiver, you've got to be there to change diapers, and you can't do that when you're on auditions. That's physically impossible."
Oh man, wait, both of his parents?
Possible, it just wouldn't work. After both of his parents tragically passed away, Lawrence returned to the workforce as a part-time actor alongside another interesting job, Santa's Little Helper at the Sun Valley Shopping Center. Fans have been flocking to the mall to get their own selfie with Beans, and he seems to be having a good time with it. If Instagram captions are to be believed, he's making dreams come true, which is certainly more than that mall Santa can say. Beans explained in the Vice interview that he took the role to honor his father, stating, "Dad was really into Christmas. He was a big Clark Griswold guy, so this was kind of my way to feel close to him during the holidays and do something cool for people." However, it was Danny Lloyd from The Shining who decided that the world of media just wasn't for him. Apart from 2 other minor appearances, The Shining became Danny's only major role on the big screen, and considering he was only 6 years old at the time, he'd returned to school like any other person. "I'm glad I was in The Shining. It just wasn't something that panned out, and I decided to go back to being a regular kid in school. I worked at the local Walmart. I also worked on a hog farm driving a tractor and working with the hogs. A Hollywood life probably wouldn't have been for me anyway." In a different interview, Danny
Hollywood, a lot of these people, Hollywood was not for a lot of people. That's why a lot of them went to doing drugs, and you know, a lot of them have passed away because they couldn't really handle it. It's too much. Hollywood is not for everybody, you know. But I'm glad that some of these people, you know, they found peace though. There's nothing wrong working a 9-to-5 job. Because some people might look down on them, say, "Oh, you know, but you was famous and you're working a 9-to-5 job." Yeah, but they probably happy and you know, they're at peace right now.
explained that he used these farm jobs to pay his way through university, which ultimately led to the full-time job he works now, biology teaching at a high school. Lloyd learned fast that being the kid from The Shining was not a fact he needed to share with pupils looking for chinks in his authority. It was disruptive in class, so that's when I began to really play it down. Were the kids waggling their fingers hissing red rum? He laughed good-naturedly, yes, very occasionally, but enough for me to know I had to downplay it. As a teacher, you're supposed to be in control, which has got to be an outlook shared by Carrie Henn, who also ditched Hollywood to work in education. After playing the character Newt in the 1986 classic Aliens, Henn decided not to pursue full-time acting and instead continued with her schooling. For this reason, she fell out of the public spotlight for over 30 years, returning in a 2016 Comic-Con interview with Kevin James to state that she'd rather found traditional employment.
I always wanted to be a teacher, so I went to school to be a teacher.
Tell them what you do.
I teach 4th grade.
Yet it was Vanilla Ice whose career change was significantly more surprising. He found massive success in 1990 with the now infamous song Ice Ice Baby, yet his music career had almost no longevity, with many considering Vanilla Ice to be a one-hit wonder. With his music career in the dumps,
yeah, he was a one-hit wonder though, because I don't remember hearing any of the songs. I feel like in Living Color, they made, I think it was Jim Carrey who was pretending to be like be him, and they was making fun of his, his song and his video. It probably did something to his career. I don't know. I'm just assuming, but I didn't hear anything after that. So
Vanilla Ice tried his hand at motocross racing and even professional jet skiing, which worked reasonably well given he peaked as the world's number 6 ranked sit-down jet ski racer, competing nearly every weekend and earning a Kawasaki sponsorship. At the same time, Vanilla Ice began to go down a dark path of drug addiction, leading to his disappearance from the spotlight. However, in 2010, the name would reappear in a show about houses called the Vanilla Ice Project. He'd become a renovator. The show ran for over 9 years, displaying countless different construction projects, yet this wasn't the only normal job that Vanilla Ice wound up doing. In 2013, an article was published to the website Joe reading, "He's transformed himself from rapper to lighting salesman. We guess when the lights go out on a rapping career, you have to find a way to turn them on again. But by selling lights and lighting designs, really? Mr. Ice currently works for Capital Lighting in Florida and has designed what he calls Vanilla Ice Lighting, a line of chandeliers and wall sconces. Check out this advert for lighting starring Ice himself." And yes, he actually says lights, lights, baby. However, it was Peter Ostrom.
But good for him. Good for him. He's happy. Like, sometimes you gotta, like, find something that you're going to love. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of people thinking, being in this type of industry, is, because a lot of them are not happy. Some of them are not really, really happy, but they don't know what else to do with themselves. And some of them are scared to go back to a 9-to-5 job, because they feel like, I feel like a loser because I went back to, working a 9-to-5 job, and there's nothing wrong with that. Forget about what people think. Do what makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? Do what makes you happy. Forget about other people. Who cares what people think? I couldn't care less. You know what I'm saying? So, do you.
Ostrom from Willy Wonka, who decided that instead of living in a chocolate factory, he'd rather look after animals. Shortly after appearing in the film, the Ostrom family purchased a horse, sparking what would become a lifelong interest in farm animals. After finishing high school, Ostrom worked in an equestrian center in Pennsylvania, which was followed by his college graduation with a veterinary degree, having been inspired by the vet who looked after the family horse. I can remember the veterinarian coming out and taking care of the horses, and it made a huge impression on me. This person really enjoyed what he did for a living. My father was a lawyer and I really didn't have a clue what he did all day, but I knew exactly what the veterinarian did. Someone making a living from something he enjoyed so much really sparked my interest. Ostrom was so entrenched in the idea of becoming a vet that he never returned to Hollywood. His one and only acting role, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, having stated, "Acting was fine, but I wanted something more steady. And the key is to find something that you love doing, and that's what my profession has given me." Although he's not the only celebrity on this list to dedicate his life to the medical field, as Jennifer Stone from The Wizard.
I'm not gonna lie, I think I said this before, but I don't know if I mentioned this, but I would love to have my own farm and have animals and grow my own vegetables and stuff like that. But it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work because people think it's so easy just to have a few animals and growing your own, fruits and vegetables and stuff like that. It's not easy. But it is something about it. It seems like it just brings out peace, and that's what I love, But yeah, a girl could dream. A girl could dream.
Wizards of Waverly Place followed a similar pathway. Only 1 year after the show came to an end in 2012, Stone was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, with her experience in the hospital inspiring her to join the medical field.
I wanted to make sure that nobody ever had to experience that when they were going through uncertainty. I know it's a drop in the bucket, but it was something I could do.
While maintaining minor acting roles on the side, Stone began to volunteer at a Burbank medical center, and by 2019 she'd become a fully qualified nurse, stating, "I just see so much more of humanity than I ever saw before nursing. I've seen parts of humanity that I don't know if I would have ever seen without it. It's a beautiful thing and it's heartbreaking, and it's a great reminder to be thankful for the things that you do have." Since becoming a registered nurse, it seems Jennifer Stone has pretty much retired from acting. However, this hasn't stopped her from being recognized by some of her patients.
And I had a lot of patients that are like, "Why are you here? Like, what are you doing being a nurse?"
But whatever happened to the Shermanator from American Pie? Well, according to IMDb, real name Chris Owen continued to land role after role following the iconic performance, yet on the 28th of September 2012, a post was made to Reddit reading, "At a sushi restaurant in Santa Monica, the Shermanator was my waiter." Approximately 1 year later, additional photos were sent to the
Why do people do this? Oh my God, do you have to take a picture of someone and then post it and say, "Oh, look at who I saw. He works here, she works here." Like, why are you doing that? Now it's gonna make it hard because the people is gonna go there and just to want to take pictures and want, like, he probably doesn't want everybody, in his business. Oh, that must sucks. But I don't know.
radar
annoying. That's
websites, with
annoying
a
to
sender
me.
stating it was kind of funny watching the Shermanator serve at a sushi restaurant. It was also sort of sad to see how quickly and easily an actor can fall from fame. No one in the restaurant even seemed to recognize him. When interviewed by the
So?
Daily News 3 years later, Owen stated
don't
life
wanna be
doesn't always go the
recognized.
way you planned. I love acting and this job lets me stay in the fight. I get recognized a lot, he says. I walk up to the table and see the look in their eyes. People get excited and it feels good. I like connecting with people for that brief moment in time, although in December 2018, it seemed Chris Owen recognized that he'd need a long-term career path, as he'd make a post to his Instagram stating that he'd joined a property company called Compass, with his following post showing that he'd become a real estate agent. But while Chris Owen took these positions out of necessity, it was Susan Boyle who got a day job just so she could return to being a normal person. Despite having a net
remember
worth
her
of over
too.
$40
She had a
million,
beautiful
Susan has
voice.
often been commended for living an extremely humble life, having raised over £42 million for charity whilst continuing to live in her childhood home. However, Susan Boyle's desire for normality was best highlighted in an article from June 2014 titled "Millionaire Susan Boyle applies for a £6 an hour cashier job" in her local bookmakers, with the article reading, "The 52-year-old singer is reported to have applied for a minimum wage £6 an hour cashier's job after spotting a job advert in the window of her local bookmakers, Ladbrokes. Upon reading the advert on Thursday afternoon, Susan entered the premises and spent around 5 minutes talking to the shop's deputy manager David Kaur, 28, about the role. Susan Boyle walked into the shop and inquired about the job advertised in our window. We were all in shock. Obviously, she doesn't need the money, so I think she saw it as a way of getting her out of her house and taking her mind off things, with the article also implying that it'd be a good way.
You'd be surprised. There are a lot of people who working at jobs and they don't care about the money. They don't care how much they're getting paid. They just sometimes people want to find something to do. You know, they want to go out and just work, and maybe they want to socialize with other people. You know, not everybody wants to stay home. I remember when I was working at this hospital, there was a man who was a janitor. He had retired, but then he came back. And I was like, "You came back?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Why? Like, you're supposed to be like relaxing and stuff like that." He was like, "Yeah, but you know," he said, I don't want to be home and be bored. I just, you know, because I'm at home, I don't really do much. Just sit there and watch TV. And I kind of understand where he's coming from, because there's a lot of people like that retire, but then it's like they don't know what to do with themselves, you know? So it's like, he probably missed like being around people. It could be that too. Not, you know, because some people do feel lonely, you know, just being home and don't really have anybody. So it's like working somewhere where you can see familiar faces and you can talk to people, you know, it brings joy, I guess. So I can understand.
For her to reintegrate with the local community. Interesting.
But a person like me, I'm gonna travel. I want to travel. When I retire, I mean, I can still travel now, but I'm just saying, like, if I get to that age, I want to travel.
Interestingly, it seems Boyle didn't end up getting the job. However, Kevin Jonas was a little more lucky. With the Jonas Brothers took a hiatus back in 2013.
Wait, I thought he was still making music. Wait. Let's
Two of the
continue.
brothers pursued their
Wait.
own solo projects, yet the third brother, Kevin, decided to leave music altogether and walk a slightly different path. He'd dive into the world of construction, creating a property development business called Jonas Werner, and would also become the co-CEO of a social media business called the Blue Market Company. But while you could still consider this far from a normal job, it's time to talk about Nikki Blonsky.
Wait, let's go back, because I don't know what.
Two of the brothers pursued their own solo projects, yet the third brother, Kevin, decided to leave music altogether and walk a slightly different path. He'd dive into the world of construction, creating a property development business called Jonas Werner, and would also become the co-CEO of a social media business called the Blue Market Company. But while you could...
All right, so I'm quite sure he still do music, because I know him and his brothers, they did a concert somewhere. Yeah, I think he still do music, but then I'm wrong doing other things though.
still consider this far from a normal job, it's time to talk about Nikki Blonsky, who's perhaps one of the greatest examples of giving up fame to go back to a regular life.
so
Blonsky's
cute.
first ever acting role was in Hairspray the movie, so it was kind of funny that only 4 years later, she'd get her cosmetology license before landing a job as a hairstylist in her hometown. Superstar is happy to announce our newest employee, our cosmetologist Nikki Blonsky from
years
Hairspray,
after.
which was followed by a tweet to Nikki Blonsky's Twitter, confirming her new part-time position. It's true I'm working at Superstar Salon as a makeup artist, and I'm proud to be working and helping pay bills, but I'll never lose sight of my dreams. Just because I'm part-time working doesn't mean I'm going to give up on my dreams, and don't give up on yours. I might book something big soon, keep positive, and apparently she made the right decision by doing this, given the customer feedback. I was so surprised today when I showed up at Superstar to get my makeup done, and it turned out to be Nikki Blonsky applying it. She did a great job, and I really look like a superstar.
Oh. There's nothing wrong with them, you know, finding something they love. I'm happy for them. If they're happy, I'm happy for them. You know, I'm happy for them. But yeah, so comment below. Let me know how y'all feel about this. And I'll see you lovely people. Take care. Peace.